So I'm gonna be showing you guys 7 different ways to work with leftover barbecue chicken or barbecue chicken that you have. Whether you're a family or a single or you wanna use it for lunch or another meal, we're gonna show you some different ways to use the chicken. I'm gonna debone these 4 chickens and I'm gonna do it in section like dark meat, white meat. I love to tell you there's a sexy way to do this, but really you just gotta get your hands into it and pull it apart. So ripping off all the segments. Like I said, hands are the best way. I'm gonna take everything off in sections so that I can use what I want for whatever application I'm doing. Obviously you can keep the bones as well to make stock, which I'm not gonna be doing today. I'm leaving the wings on the side. Those will eat as a snack tomorrow. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Right now it's a rough pass through. Don't forget the little oysters at the back. These are best parts. All right, so we're all done. All the thighs and leg meat over here. I got all the skin and the chicken wings over here. And I got all the breast meat over here. Recipe number 1, hot chicken sandwich. Popular in Quebec, Montreal. I'm sure it's probably popular everywhere. You're coming back from work, you're in a rush, you're not always gonna be making scratch gravies, roasting bones, this and that. You're gonna use what you got. So we're using leftover rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna be using this sauce over here. It's typically a poutine sauce, but it's a gravy. It works really, really well on a hot chicken. It happens to be one I like. Whatever gravy you like, it's gonna work. We'll get that in the pot while I cut up some chicken. Sometimes I think that people think that chefs, we have bone marrow for breakfast and foie gras for lunch and caviar for supper. Typically when we get home, I think a lot of chefs are gonna be like me where they just want the simplest meal they can put together, This is breast meat, but I'm probably gonna mix in a bit over here. I'm gonna warm it a bit in the oven. You can warm it in the microwave if you want. I have my oven on, so the time the gravy's ready, the chicken will be ready. So I'm just gonna put a bit in. It's just the drippings from the rotisserie chickens. And we're back. Hot chicken for us. You get some gravy right on that chicken on one side, bread on top, and now you go heavy on the gravy. All right, with some peas right on top. Hot chicken sandwich, Montreal style. So there we go. Definitely a keeper. Recipe number 2, chicken salad, which is gonna become a chicken salad sandwich because apparently Ty's hungry. And I'm gonna be doing my mom's way. So my mom's is basically just always celery, onion, and she used Miracle Whip. A bit on the sweeter side. I always liked her cooking as a kid. I haven't had Miracle Whip in probably 20 years now. So we're cutting a bit of red onion. So we're just finally chopping little celery. I'm not gonna make a ton here. Okay. You don't want big chunks, so I got some breast meat. I'm just gonna chop it roughly by hand because I don't like to make dishes for nothing. I am a white meat fan for the chicken salad, yeah. There's no real recipe for this, guys. Onions and celery to chicken ratio, that's kind of what you like. This is where I'm at. Some cracked pepper, as you guys know me in pepper. And we're gonna go 1.5, I'd say, to start. We're just gonna mix that up. Need a pinch of salt. This is one of my favorite things, by the way. You ready for a sandwich? Alrighty. We'll get that done. You're getting it all, by the way. I think this might be one of my top favorite things to do with leftover chicken. Hope you're hungry. There we go. So, second meal to do with leftover chicken, chicken salad or chicken salad sandwich or whatever you like. So recipe number 3, we're gonna do some buffalo chicken quesadillas. I'm gonna put some dark. I'm gonna put some skin in here, add flavor. I'm gonna put a bit of white meat as well. We're gonna mix all that up. Just break it up in your hands because you're gonna see what we do after. One big quesadilla. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna throw this in the oven, let that chicken warm up a bit. Buffalo style wing sauce in the quesadilla as opposed to a sweeter barbecue sauce because I'm not a big fan of the sweet barbecue sauces. I want a bit of onion in the quesadilla. I'm just giving that a rough chop. We're gonna get it in a frying pan, just cook it down a bit. Just a little bit of oil, onion, couple minutes, just to get the raw. I'm not trying to make caramelized onions here. I just don't want it raw. I want it soft and translucent so that it's sweeter in the application and less strong. All right, onions are translucent. I'm actually gonna throw them right into this bowl right here. Throw all the chicken in. I'm gonna break it up a bit with my tongs. I want it a bit chunky. A nice handful of mozzarella cheese in here. Whatever cheese you like, guys, whatever cheese you like. No rules here. I'm using what I have. I'm gonna throw in a heavy amount of this barbecue sauce. I like the spicier sauces. For a final touch, a dollop of sour cream, a little bit of pepper. There's enough salt in that barbecue sauce, wing sauce, whatever. We have our mix. And if ever you make this recipe, I don't want it to look like this. Make it your own. Use the barbecue sauce you like, the wing sauce you like. I don't care if you put ketchup in there if that's what you like. Make it your own, okay? We're gonna take it to the front, then we're gonna make some quesadillas. I'm gonna use cast iron for this. Piece of butter, rub the cast iron with some butter. You can lay out your quesadillas as such. You can stuff the first one. Give it a fold, open this one up. Give that a fold. I'll get a little press on top, and then we'll just turn them in a few minutes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift one out, drag this one back here, flip it. At least I'm gonna get the first one out. So we're almost there. I want a nice crisp on these, so a couple more seconds. We're golden. These are ready, and I lost my spatula. There it is. Let's get these out. All right. Give these a little cut. And you tell me, serve this up with a little bit of salad. Tell me that's not a hell of a meal, huh? Delicious. Recipe number 4, we're gonna do a chicken bowl. I'm gonna do a version, and you're never gonna make it like mine. You're gonna make it your own, but the fundamentals are gonna stay the same. Just to get started, we're gonna cook the jasmine rice. We're gonna do about a cup of jasmine rice, a cup and a quarter. I'm using chicken stock this time around. Let the rice cook down for about 10 minutes on a simmer. Now I'm gonna let it rest 10 minutes. I'm gonna finish absorbing the rest of that liquid. In the meantime, we're gonna get the rest of our stuff ready. Some nice white meat over here. It's pretty much an entire breast here. We'll get that warmed up a little bit. We can crisp up some of the skin here. Let's get that in the oven. And now, this is the fun part. I'm gonna start off, I want a bit of a tomato salad. Then I'm gonna add on top, cut up some cherry tomatoes. I got a bit of onion here. Get a piece of cucumber. I'm gonna leave the peel on for this one. I'm just gonna give it a rinse. This will be enough. I have a little bit of dill, olive oil, salt, pepper. That's all that gets for now. Half an avocado for the purpose of this salad. I'm gonna take it off the skin like this.
I'm really digging your technique.
I saw it in a movie when I was a kid. Tortilla soup. It was called tortilla soup. Rice is ready. Chicken's nicely warmed. This is the fun part. You get a nice little portion of rice. Chicken's going. That would be enough. Squeeze a lemon in here. We're gonna go right in here with our little tomato salad, a bit of corn, our nicely ripened avocado, mostly pantry ingredients with a few vegetables, you know. I always have a bit of hummus in the fridge, and that's gonna be like what we mix everything in. A little bit of salt over here on the avocado. This is how I like it. Actually, I will probably go a little olive oil. And you just made yourself a really delicious chicken bowl. Recipe number 5, if you got leftover bones and you got leftover chicken, then you can always make some kind of chicken soup. So we're gonna be doing a chicken and orzo soup, a really fast soup to put together. Carrots, onions, and celery. Nice quick chop. This is home cooking, guys, where you can always practice your knife skills as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if you're in a rush, it's a soup. As long as they're manageable bite-sized pieces, don't be too hard on yourselves. Picture pieces that fit nice on a spoon. This is the longest part of making the soup right now, so.
Watch out, your veggies almost hit the red board.
Don't even get me started. Stop. You're trying to get me pumped up right now, and I know what you're doing. Hardest part of the soup here. You got everything in a pot. This is olive oil, pepper, salt. Let's get this on the stove. We're just gonna sweat off the carrots, onions, and celery. I'm gonna go chop up a lot of the dark meat, is what I like that in the soup as well. So, and I like a lot of chicken in a chicken soup, maybe just a bit more. All right, we sweated down the vegetables a bit. We're just gonna add the liquid, the tomato juice and the stock. Bring it up to a boil. A can of tomato juice, 3.5 liters. If I put it all, which it looks like I'm going to, yeah. We got nothing to do now until this boils and simmers. It's not meant to be a complicated soup. The flavor is gonna come from the vegetables, the orzo, the chicken, all together. It's gonna be a fantastic soup, but it's a very easy soup to make. All right, soup's on a boil. We're gonna put it on a strong simmer. We're gonna let this cook about 25 minutes before we add the orzo, just to let the flavors develop. Then we'll add the orzo and then finish with the chicken. I weighed out about 200 grams of orzo, but looking at this, I feel like it's gonna be a bit much, so we'll see. We'll weigh what's left. I put in about 160 grams of orzo. See the orzo, you can actually see like the grains have gone a little bigger. It's tough to see. You'll also notice that the broth is getting thicker because of the orzo. At this point, I'm gonna add the chicken. I'm gonna let it come back to a boil, and then I'm pretty much gonna shut it off, and I'm gonna let the orzo keep cooking in that hot broth. Soup's ready. So, and believe it or not, it's still gonna expand a bit more. So, if you make this soup and you find you wake up the next day and there's no more broth left, if you know, add a little water, add a little stock preferably. We have chicken and orzo soup. I never met a soup that didn't improve with a copious amounts of black pepper. Delicious. Season the taste. I might add a touch more salt in my bowl. My wife would like it like this. I'm probably bringing this one home today, so yeah. Chicken and orzo soup. Number 6, we're gonna be doing, for lack of a better word, enchiladas. I don't really want to fully call it an enchilada because I'm gonna be using tomato sauce. Quick meal you can put together. Basically what we're doing now is we're gonna be chopping up everything I need to stuff the enchiladas. Mostly white, but I'm gonna put in some dark as well. Run your knife through this quick, okay? One very, very small green pepper, or like a quarter of a large one. Cilantro. See how I did that? Yeah. We got a bit of corn. I got some black beans. Get that right in there. Some Greek yogurt. Now at this point, you can add whatever seasonings you like. Some people like taco seasoning, some people like Cajun spice. Definitely go with a bit of pepper, some salt, just a bit of granulated garlic. I'm gonna go a touch of cayenne pepper. If it's for the kids, leave it out. Now we're gonna mix in a good handful of cheese. I'm using mozzarella again. I like mozz. It's gonna add the texture, the gooiness, the saltiness that I want to this dish. Pepper jack, cheddar, man, whatever you got, man. Whatever floats your boat, it's yours. I'm gonna put just a dollop right in here, just to get a bit of that acidity directly on the inside of the enchiladas. We're gonna put just a light little base of sauce at the bottom. I'm sure some people out there roll better than other people, so do the best job you can. We're just gonna roll some pretty thick enchiladas. Yeah. Give it a roll, nice and tight, seam side down, and repeat the process. So we got 4 huge, they're heavy, enchiladas in here. I'm gonna cover with sauce. I'm just making sure everything's nicely covered with enough cheese to cover each enchilada. And this is gonna go bake until everything in there is nice and warm. Cheese is nice and melty. 400-degree oven, about 25 minutes. In we go. We're in business. There we go. How satisfying does that look? A little bit of cilantro garnish on the top there. Sort of like an enchilada. Better than I thought. Way better. Make it your own. That's the rule here. So recipe number 7, we're gonna do chicken pasta. Should we give it a name? I don't know. I'm gonna mix up, again, this is a pasta, not a chicken plate. We'll mix up a bit here. That'll be plenty for, that'll be a very big plate of pasta with all these vegetables. Bell peppers, some onions, some mushroom, a piece of butter, some garlic, some chicken. We're gonna go make a quick pasta with this. So pan on, I'm gonna go a little bit of olive oil. Peppers and onions are gonna go in right away, piece of butter, a little salt and pepper. Go in with our mushrooms and our garlic. Put your chicken in. Okay. I happen to have a bit of dry white wine, so this is our house tomato sauce, but whatever you have at the house, you know, you have, you make your own tomato sauce, you use passata. I'm using fettuccine today. Let's just transfer this pasta into the sauce. You know, I was putting this pasta together, and again, we're working with leftovers here, and it smells amazing. But I thought, you know what? does it look a little boring, you know? I know we just filmed essentially 7 chicken videos, but I'm like, does it look a little boring? Thought to myself, what could we do to make this really punch? And I thought to myself, yeah, a nice piece of gorgonzola right on top. So our final dish was a chicken pasta, kind of loosely based on a chicken cacciatore with, you know, leftover rotisserie chicken, of course, and some crumbled gorgonzola on top. I've never put gorgonzola on this kind of pasta before. You gotta like your strong cheeses, but that's max. Really, really good. So that wraps up our 7 different preparations of rotisserie chicken. I'm sure we could do 7 more, just not today. Enjoy the recipes. We'll take all the feedback. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.